Hello, welcome back to theCUBE here at our New York Stock Exchange studio. I'm John Furrier, your host of theCUBE. This is our mixture of expert series. We talk to the entrepreneurs, founders, leaders in the industry who are making things happen. Of course, the mixture of experts goes into our AI corpus and hopefully makes great content for you. Alexandra Debow is here, co-founder and CEO of SWSH, SWSH, that's the app name, joinswish.com, that's the URL. I think that's the URL, right? I get it right?
Yeah.
Welcome to theCUBE, thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
on.
Thanks for coming and thanks for having me. It's an awesome studio you guys have.
We had a meeting before we came on camera showing some of the product, the futures. I love photo apps. I always love, even going back to the Web 2.0 days into now, and I think we lost that with like a Facebook, but you guys have a killer app right now. I love the focus. Explain Swish, the founding of it, what is the product? Just give the quick highlights.
Absolutely. So we started Swish because I grew up in Hong Kong, which is a place where people move around a lot. So it was always really important for me to find a way to help reconnect with people after a party, an event. And frankly speaking, by the time I got to college, the way you follow up with someone after is, hey, can you send me the photos of me? Or like, who is that cute guy I met? And photos are such an awesome way, or an excuse rather, to retain and maintain those relationships. So we started building these really cool shared albums. And obviously in the advent of AI, we were able to utilize AI for really cool tools we've never been able to do before. Like filtering for the best photo you're in that AI determines, or filtering for photos you're in, photos that other people are in, and creating these easy, shared, very lightweight albums that people find social and fun, but also a lot of utility. What we've been able to understand now is it's not just photos, obviously. It's videos, it's live photos, it's content. Like, we're no longer living in just the photo space. It's an aggregation of content that can be shared as a start of conversation. And as Swish grew really quickly on college campuses, primarily within sororities and frats, people started taking it over the weekends to use in a bunch of other places. They started taking it to music festivals and concerts and sports games, etc. So we started then partnering with some of the largest music festivals, concert tours, sports leagues, large events in the world, and now powering stuff like you guys. So it's been really cool to see the evolution, and ultimately that photos act as a vehicle to reconnect people afterwards.
Yeah, and we've been using this photos a lot on theCUBE, NYSE Wire. That's been kind of an easy way to use it. So great ease of use, so thanks for doing that, really grateful. But photos also connect people.
Yeah.
And you guys have a lot of other features, like there's a social component, there's some engagement. What has been the top, kind of, I won't say seller, but it's like the top feature that gets people coming back? I mean, albums are great, but is it sharing after?
Totally.
What is the main highlights that are jumping out at the feature side?
Yeah, I would say two things I'll point out. Number one, just from a value prop. Number one is find pics of you. Like, everyone likes to find photos of you. So from a consumer point of view, like someone like me, I want to filter photos that I'm in. But from a brand point of view or a company point of view, if Coca-Cola is sponsoring like a Coachella, for example, you want to find the photos of Coca-Cola immediately. We can use AI tools to find all the organic content that has that. The second tooling is being able to find the photos most relevant to be able to share. So these could potentially be, oh my gosh, this was someone that I wanted you to meet. Or hey, this was a moment that's there. Potentially for clients, this is the presentation. It's sort of your internal point of view of the filtering and aggregation, and the other component of filtering and sorting for someone you want to share it with.
On the photo album side, because people see Instagram, TikTok. I mean, Instagram basically was the killer app there.
Yeah.
But that's not out there already. So how do you talk about the Instagram dynamic? Because people use Instagram, millions of people use it.
Of course, and should
so it's not a
continue to.
replacement for Instagram,
No.
so the positioning is what?
Definitely. So the supplementary is live experience, Swish, and then Instagram, or LinkedIn, or Twitter, whatever that may be for you. What we realize is that when you go to an event, like today, for example, or if you go to a sports game or a trip, you're probably taking, especially in this day and age, you're not worried about storage. You're probably taking hundreds of photos in a moment that matters to you. But you're only going to upload like the 2 or 3 like highlights. Like we were speaking earlier about how you have all these amazing AI tools to find the most viral moments. It's because those are the things that anyone externally only cares about. But in reality, if you're there and you're with people collectively that share that experience, you actually want to see all the content together. And the social contract of you sharing an album, of people being there in person, allows you the opportunity to be able to share that. So while Instagram owns the behavior and should own the behavior of best photo, maybe 2 best photos, Swish holds the behavior of drag and select, which is that feature when you're thinking about when you're
photo
dumping.
streaming, for lack of a better word.
Exactly.
Everyone takes a lot of photos,
Exactly.
but they curate what they post to Instagram because they care about not just having a bad photo, because they want to look good.
Exactly. And then yes, of course, we help kind of figure out what the best photos are for sharing, as I mentioned, like photos of you, being able to search semantically with AI, photos of 2 people sitting down with microphones on. But ultimately, there is such an aggregation of content that needs to be in one centralized place that we help with.
Yeah, I love the event focus, the live event, because I think those moments are really what people gather around. And
Totally.
more and more face-to-face, now more than ever, certainly we're in a couple, like 4 years past COVID,
Yeah.
we're like, hey, like, we love these live experiences where the
100%.
humans are actually there.
Exactly.
And not some digital, well, digital's fine, but you
Yeah.
marry digital with first party,
Totally.
face-to-face, that's real right now. Are you seeing that?
Absolutely. It's so ironic where you think pre-COVID, people already were in person, but it's almost like the trough of COVID made people remember why in person is so important. And it's such an alpha. Like being in a curated dinner party or a trip with friends or a music festival or concert, the joke of why and the ultimate vision for Swish is building the largest ever and the first ever in real life social graph. Your Instagram is your social graph, your Facebook or maybe your LinkedIn is more your professional graph, your Twitter is your interest graph, but no one knows who you've been in physical proximity with. And the only way to prove that is if you're actually in a physical photo with them. And so with Swish, we're on this front end kind of growth angle, being able to create and growth hack on top of existing social graphs of who you're with in person.
Yeah.
Who do you go to parties with? Who do you go to concerts with? Who do you go to sports events with? Who do you go to corporate events with? If you're in a photo, if you're in an album with them, it means you're with them in person. So it means they're probably more valuable to you. And so if we own that social graph, we're more likely to tell you who to work with, who to be friends with, who to marry, all that stuff.
Well, that's great. I love the AI assist on that one.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things with theCUBE, 16 years, we're known for doing event coverage.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, one of the things we totally agree with you on is that for the first time, this face-to-face physical, digital, like first party fusing together. If you look at like NVIDIA's CEO, Jensen Huang, he talks about physical AI. You're basically doing the photo version, content version
Exactly.
of what you are digitally and physically together and using AI to say, hey, this is your physical representation like a digital twin
Exactly.
of the experience.
Exactly,
Is that
exactly.
right?
It's a really great way of looking at it for sure, especially because when you think about an experience, you only have one perspective. If you're like having your party, if you're having your dinner, whatever it may be, you've only experienced it through your eyes. But in a Swish album, you get to relive that moment in 20,000 different perspectives. What is the brand point of view? What was someone else's point of view? What was the point of view from the back of the room? And so you're able to kind of splice and like split these moments to be able to create new content, create new experience, create new connections based upon reliving it in a really unique way.
Are there demographic differences on the user behavior? Like I take photos all the time. I'm a madman. I just take zillion
love it.
photos because it's digital. You get the
course.
right one. So here I can ingest them in. And is there like a editor zone? It's like, okay, the pre-zone of photos? I mean, because I think like, do people take photos like me, or is that common?
So common. Like the joke is that people's Instagram and people's camera will look so diametrically different because Instagram has become ultra curated, and people's phones and there's no memory storage. There's no like, I have a roll of film left. People are taking as many photos as possible. So there needs to be a middle ground where you're able to have this aggregation and repository of people who are in the same moment sharing their photo albums from that moment, and then being able to find the best ones to post. Because if you're missing them, you're actually not even finding the best moments, best angles, best moments in connection. So your user behavior that you're describing, which is around like hyper obsession, everyone is that.
Okay,
There's obviously
so I'm
some.
normal.
You're very normal. You're very normal. We have millions and millions and millions of photos and videos, so I can tell you with content that you are. And when people are given the opportunity to share photos, especially in a shared environment where it's like, hey, this is an album where it's normal and encouraged for you to share photos, please do so. People want to do that. People want to contribute to things that they care about. May that be Comic-Con, may that be a football game, be that may a corporate event. If someone is told, hey, it's not weird for you to share a photo because you were here, people will share all the photos.
I mean,
and videos.
user-generated content has been around for a long time, multiple generations of tech. I just like how you're bringing it together because it's independent, kind of a live, real life. And that's different than iPhotos or Google Photos because they're just a repo.
Totally.
How do you handle that objection when someone says, hey, I have iPhoto. I mean, I got photos on my Mac, or I got Google Photos. They try to roll up an album.
Yeah.
But it kind of doesn't do a good job.
It's different use cases, right? Like photos, similar to text, is just a form of communication. There is incredible amount of text platforms, some Word doc, Google Pages, Twitter, LinkedIn. These are all like text platforms, but the usage of it, the market of it is totally different. So similar to iCloud and Google Photos to any other photo app, it's different use cases. We're really targeting these live events with shared albums where photographers, attendees, everyone's a photographer now. So being able to target kind of the two aspects of it being something that everyone's sharing and that people are contributing to really allow us to be able to utilize our AI to create the best experience.
I love what you're doing. Talk about the origination story. she's not here, but your sister was here earlier when we were going through the product, because we're going to use it at theCUBE and NYSE Wired. Working with your sister, founding the company, talk about the origination story. How did it start?
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually started, my sister, she was an intern for us. So it's always awesome to work with family, but I started the company with two of my friends, one of which I actually grew up with in Hong Kong, so I've known for a super long time. The three of us were all juniors at the time, around 3 years ago, and we were just like hacking and building a bunch of different projects on like our dorm room. We built a bunch of different apps all around this idea of Swish. Swish actually stands for the phrase, see you somewhere, somehow. And the idea is that like we grew up around the world traveling a lot, and it was really difficult to stay in touch. So we would always say to our friends and family, see you again somewhere, somehow. So that's where Swish comes from. So fall of 2020. So
you had a desire to keep in touch, the photos with the gravity around everything.
Exactly. And we tried a bunch of stuff. So like we ended up dropping out of school actually at the top of 2023. So we raised money, dropped school, the full Silicon Valley thing, and we built a ton of different apps. And it's super, super important for any young founders or entrepreneurs out there to think about, specifically in consumer or prosumer products, that things are going to iterate. Like you have to believe in your team, believe in the ultimate vision. Things are going to always be hard until you find something that starts to work.
You did raise some money, and you're based in California or New York?
We're based in New York.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, raised money based here. And yeah, we built a bunch of different products. We built like a calendar app. We built like a sharing your location and like your sports data. We built like a Finsta. We built a bunch of different products until ultimately we landed on this because it was like what we kept coming back to. We'd host these launch parties at different colleges, and people after all these like launch parties would be like, super fun, blah, blah, blah. Can you send me the photos of me? Can you send me the photos of that girl? We're like,
airdrop them to me or send them to me.
Exactly. Exactly. They shared this moment. They wanted to reconnect, and photos were just the vehicle to do so.
And you can make it private too, right? You can make these private. Okay, here's the first draft of the photos.
For sure. Yeah, these albums are inherently private. Similar so to a WhatsApp or like an iMessage. You have to be invited to an album to join an album. They're not inherently public or discoverable on the album at the app at this time.
Talk about how long you guys been in business and what's the current momentum.
Yeah, we started about 2.5 years ago, and we have been able to roll out kind of, I would say, this prosumer model in the last six months. We've been able to power some of the largest music festivals and events in the world, everything from EDC to Rolling Louds, Cannes Lions, some of the largest events, which has been really, really amazing. A lot of sports, things like that. And we have a lot of huge partners coming up that we're excited to announce.
All right, so what's your focus? What's your growth strategy? What are you working on now? What's next?
Yeah, right now we're working on verticalizing and really aggregating as many partners as customers to help distribute albums, use albums, and really engage with us across different verticals. So music's been a big one for us across festivals as well as concerts. Sports, tons of different sports leagues has been huge too. And then cultural events like Comic-Con, F1, things like that has been really awesome.
And your strategy on money making, what's the focus on the revenue model?
Yeah, we charge events or brands based on the albums and the usage of that. So let's say a Coachella will pay for X amount of albums or X amount of usage, but then many times as well, for any live events, brands ultimately are footing the bill there. So it becomes the Heineken sponsored Coachella album or the Coca-Cola sponsored F1 album, because it becomes an entirely new piece of digital real estate for them to own the content, because when you join the album, you consent to the brand being able to use that. So it's more organic UGC, it's new real estate, new ways to engage fans, and it's all wrapped up, so everyone's
I love
winning.
the branded angle, because I think people, it's like a festival.
Totally.
I get that Coca-Cola may be sponsoring or Nike or whoever.
Yeah.
I just want the good product.
100%.
I want the good band. I want the good band. I want to see the good photos.
And they can find the photos that their brand is in. It's organic content. It wins. The artists get more photos, and the fans get to engage, connect with people. It becomes a win-win-win.
Alexandra, great to have you on theCUBE.
Thank
Congratulations. You. Love the new idea. I love to see the traction. Any commercial you want to put out there? Needs you hiring? What kind of people are you looking for?
If you're hosting events, if you're doing anything cultural, sports, music, corporate events, let us know. We're powering the largest events in the world. So we'll help you out.
All right. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, theCUBE, bringing in the mixture of experts, of course, as these new apps come in, AI enabled, really changes the game on one, making the products better, but also the user experience, starting to see that more and more, and obviously Swish is a great example. I'm John Furrier. Thanks for watching.